Today, we're taking a tour of your brain's operating system. We're going to uncover 12 psychological blueprints, think of them like cheat codes, that can make getting through your day-to-day life feel so much easier.
I mean, really think about that. What if you knew all the hidden rules that guide your thoughts, your actions, and how you deal with other people? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're opening up that manual. All right, let's start where everything really begins, inside your own head. These first few rules are all about mastering your inner world because, that's the foundation for everything else.
So this first one, the illusory truth effect, is so simple, but it is incredibly powerful. Your brain, believe it or not, can be kind of lazy. It often mistakes repetition for reality. So instead of doing the hard work of fact-checking, it just goes, hey, I've heard that before. And that feeling of familiarity feels, well, it feels true.
Okay, so you can totally hijack this process. If your brain is just going to believe whatever it hears over and over again, you might as well be the one in charge of the playlist, right? This isn't just wishful thinking. It's literally using a known quirk in our own wiring to build real self-belief.
Just let that number sink in for a second. A full 90% of the things we worry about, they never actually happen. It's wild. This is basically a leftover feature from our ancestors, whose brains had to imagine the worst-case scenario, a tiger behind every single bush. For us, that same wiring just creates a ton of unnecessary stress.
And here is the perfect antidote. When that wave of anxiety starts to hit, you can fight back with one simple, logical question. See, fear is just an emotion. But when you ask for evidence, you're forcing your rational brain to step in and take over. And a lot of the time, it finds there's nothing really there to be afraid of.
Have you ever tripped in public and felt like a million eyes were suddenly glued to you? Well, that's the spotlight effect in action. We feel like we're the star of the show, performing on this brightly lit stage. But the truth is, most people are barely paying any attention.
And wow, what a liberating thought this is. You can just give yourself permission to mess up, to have a bad hair day, to not be perfect. Because honestly, everyone else is just as wrapped up in their own movie, worrying about the spotlight they think is shining on them.
Okay, let's keep building on this. We've looked at our inner world, that inner monologue. Now, we're going to shift our focus to the outside world, to how our physical actions and even our environment can totally change how we feel inside.
This is probably one of the biggest myths about motivation out there. We think we have to feel confident before we can start something, but all the research shows it's the other way around. Confidence isn't the spark that starts the fire, it's the smoke that comes after. It's the feeling you get after you've already done the thing.
So the takeaway here is really simple. Just start. Even a tiny, messy, clumsy first step, that's a win. Every little bit of progress you make is like casting a vote for your future, more confident self. Action is what builds that belief.
You know that annoying, nagging feeling you get from an email you haven't answered or a project you haven't finished? Well, that has a name, the Zeigarnik effect. Your brain keeps all these unfinished tasks on a mental open tab, and it just drains your energy, kind of like a background app killing your phone battery. The solution isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. By breaking down some huge goal into tiny, bite-sized, completable steps, you get to give your brain that sweet satisfaction of finishing something over and over again. Each little check mark on your to-do list is like a small hit of relief and a shot of motivation. Now, this is just fascinating. It's not just your mind controlling your body. Your body is constantly sending signals back to your mind. Just changing your posture, literally pulling your shoulders back and standing up straight, can actually change your hormone levels. It can boost feelings of confidence and lower your stress. It's a two-way street. This one is such a simple and beautiful tool for getting past hesitation. The second you feel yourself pausing or starting to make excuses, you just start the countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's like it interrupts the overthinking part of your brain and activates the part that just does. Before your brain can even talk you out of it, boom, you're already moving. All right, for our last section, we're turning our focus outward. We've worked on our internal state, we've hacked our actions, and now let's see how we can apply these psychological principles to our interactions with everyone else. This is such a core truth about human connection. We are emotional beings first and logical beings second. I mean, years from now, somebody might not remember the brilliant point you made in a meeting, but they will absolutely 100% remember if you made them feel respected or heard or inspired.
So the hack here is to just shift your focus a little. Before you go into a conversation, don't just ask yourself, what do I want to say? Ask yourself, how do I want this person to feel when we're done talking?
That small change makes all the difference.
Yeah, silence can feel really awkward, can't it? But that discomfort is actually a powerful tool. When there's a pause in a conversation, there's this huge social pressure to fill it, and most people will rush to say something, anything, often revealing more than they plan to.
This one is a total game changer, whether you're in a negotiation, an interview, or just having a serious talk. Ask your important question, and then just stop talking. Fight that urge to rephrase it or add more detail. Just let the silence hang there. The best, most honest answers often come right after that moment of quiet.
So, we've explored our own minds, we've looked at our actions, and we've dived into our social worlds. What's the big takeaway here? What does all this add up to?
And this really says it all, doesn't it? These aren't just interesting facts you can bring up at a dinner party. Understanding these principles gives you a real practical toolkit to get through life with more confidence, way less stress, and just better relationships.
And in the end, that's what it comes down to. This knowledge is power. You now have a much better handle on the architecture of your own mind and the minds of the people around you. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with it?